I never made a Defender video.
That's true. So basically what's happening right now is Mark Wang is selling his Land Rover Defender fully custom with a Coyote V8, whole bunch of custom stuff. And just before he's selling it, he's given me the unique privilege to see how this thing is, because I had no idea how valuable this thing is. This is almost a $200,000 car. From the outside at least, most Defenders are kind of like not a very expensive car, I feel like, at least from my perspective, but this thing is just has so much done to it that it just easily is worth $200,000, and there's a demand for it apparently. You know, this thing is going to a dealership, and then apparently 200 is a very fair price. So just before we do that, he is giving me the keys to it for a little bit to see how this thing is. So thank you. Oh, revenge from the last time. Roll the clip. Roll the clip of when I didn't want to give back the Gallardo keys.
Thank you.
Basically.
Oh. See, nothing makes sense when you have a custom car like that.
Right.
And you just turn halfway. You don't turn every way. If you turn all the way, it doesn't start. You have to turn halfway and it starts.
Weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, everything in here is custom, from the dashboard to the center console here is from like a newer Range Rover. Alcantara up on the ceiling. I'm such a good salesman. And it's a 7-seater too.
7-seater. You can flip the two back seat and you have a lot of compartment space too.
Yep, and then those windows up on the top are so cool too. But I guess with that, it only has 8,938 miles on it for this build in particular. Power windows, I feel like that's probably not original, right? Yeah, custom. That's just so wild.
Yeah, this is a Gen 2 dashboard. There's a
Gen
Gen 1,
2.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Have the
red dot?
Yeah, it does.
It's good? Alright, let's do this. So like you were saying, the brakes are like air...
Yeah, air brakes,
Air
so
brakes,
it's not hydraulic, so you gotta press a little harder.
Right, I can see that. But immediately, like you were saying, the old like original Defenders, like
where there's
this
dead
much
spot,
play.
there's no dead spot at all.
There's
Yeah.
pretty much none. Like you feel the car moving with that.
So this is like a brand new old car.
Whoa.
It's a weird feeling. It's like you're driving in this stylish Defender, but it's actually an F-150 Raptor.
Right? Yeah, the steering wheel is so small, like race car like too.
And you have to turn a lot. You have to turn more than,
Yeah, that's like 3 rotations. Whoa. This is just feels so quality.
Yeah,
oh.
No worries, that's a wiring problem.
Okay.
That's because the ground touches the column which conducts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, it's all good.
Spacing problem.
All good.
It's very comfy
So
too,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it rides super like smoothly. Like there's no like noises in the cabin.
No.
Like you think for an old Defender it's just gonna be
Because
making
Defenders
noise.
are usually like a meltdown project.
Right.
But this is like a brand new car.
Literally though, yeah, because it's like you were saying, most Defenders are like, you know, you go like expecting like lions to hop on the car. There's gonna be shaking and rattling.
Yeah, yeah. You will be like,
Plates.
I told Tim, I said, usually it's a miracle if a Defender could get on the freeway. Because they are usually inline 4 diesel turbo, that's
Right.
140 horsepower.
Right.
The maximum speed of a regular Defender is 70 miles.
Okay.
If the engine is healthy.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't really fit the American freeway.
Sure.
But this can go and I've tried it. And don't do this, kids. It's not cool.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna push
But
it
yeah, it beep that, guys.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
want
beep
any
that
cop to find me. But like I said, yeah, it's a very fast car. But having a Defender that looks like this and being able to drive it on the freeway is like a blessing. That's what it is. You can press a little harder on it, you will see.
So how much power does this car have?
600 to the wheel.
What?
Yeah.
I
Once you
what
press
the
a little
heck?
harder, you will hear the supercharger whine too, because it's supercharged.
Okay. This has more wheel horsepower than the Superleggera we drove.
Oh yeah, for sure.
My mind, my brain cells. That's insane.
But this is pretty easy to drive, right? You will say, yeah. Once you get used to it,
Once you get used to it, I can see this being a very good daily driver. Let's see.
and you can turn. It's like as good as a regular Range Rover, like full size. I would say.
Wait, what? There's not that much body roll. That's insane.
Yeah, you would think that this thing probably can't even turn
I thought
at
this
all.
thing would flip. Are you up to temperature yet? Yeah.
Yeah, you can press it.
What the heck? What? What the heck? That wasn't even like half long.
Yeah, it would just downshift and it would go. And it's a Defender.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's such a weird feeling. You got this, like, if you look on front, it's just this old car. You're sitting so high up. I'm taller than the Silverado over there, but it's so fast. That's unbelievable.
And then the steering wheel is actually really, really good. You
Yeah,
feel
the
every
steering.
bit. Yeah, you feel every bit of the road. You feel the weight on it.
I'm very impressed. This is such an experience in a little space. It's up to temperature now. Let's see here. What the? Yo! That was like 40 to 70.
Yeah. And if I close this, you can hear the supercharger too. Did you hear the supercharger?
Yeah, that's insane.
But yeah, there's a supercharger one.
What the heck? That's so like unnatural feeling. Like hearing the supercharger.
Yeah,
or
it's
something
American
like this.
car in a complete British body. That's what it is.
But it felt so smooth too. It wasn't like the car was gonna like fall apart. Or
No,
anything. It
the
feels
only thing
very
is you need to,
planted.
exactly, the thing that I would change if I were owning this for a longer time is to change the air brake into hydraulic.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more similar to a regular car experience. But other than
Right.
that, I personally find it charming because you don't want a car that people know how to drive right off the bat. Like I have
Right.
to tell you the trick and you're like, ah, I see. Right?
That makes it boring.
I just love a car that you can remember definitively. Like, ah, this is how I drive.
That's such a good way to put it.
This is certainly one car that if you drive it once, you will never forget how this drives. Like this is like, oh, I've never driven something even close to that.
Right, because nothing I've ever driven feels like this. Because like a Lexus SUV or like even a G-Wagon or something like that, it's so different to this.
And it sounds amazing too, right?
And it sounds really good, but it doesn't drone either. That's the
No,
nice part about it.
no.
There's no drone, but you can
You
still
can take
hear
this
it.
for a long cruise and
Right,
everything.
exactly. I mean, you'll get like 2 miles per gallon, but yeah.
No, it's actually not bad. I would say it's like 15.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
It's actually not bad. It's whatever the Range Rover does, this does, but just in style.
I'm so astonished at how well this handles.
I mean, all Defenders looks kind of similar, but you have to get the best one in order to make sense of it. See, now you press the brake, you can feel it. But you
Right.
press harder, it brakes. It's just...
Yeah, I feel that. It's
Yeah.
not bad, you just have to put a little bit more weight to it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, thank you. It's very easy to get used to. Like at first when I was going out of your driveway, I was very like scared of it. It's like, oh, am I gonna be able to like stop? But it's like once you like put a little bit more weight down, it stops like no problem.
Yeah,
That's
it's
not
like,
the issue. It's just
I think it's not tailored for like California freeways where you're going 110 trying to brake.
Yeah.
But 70 miles and brake, no problem. And the seating position's kind of interesting. The steering wheel position's kind of interesting.
So
right?
I'm gonna say this much. I've driven Jack's Focus RS. I like the way I sit more in this than the RS.
I agree with you. I think the RS is really awkward in terms of how the shift knob position
shift
is,
knob,
right?
it's like- it
I
feels like a
prefer
fan.
to have almost like a CAE shifter because it needs a taller shifter.
Right.
Like I can barely grab a shifter
Right.
from the Focus RS. And then it's in this awkward position where it's next to your knee almost, right? You're like,
Right,
why is my
exactly.
hand supposed to be there? Yeah, but this is pretty comfy.
Alignment's perfect. Like I can let go and it's like
Yeah, that's the thing.
perfectly straight.
It's for a buyer who understands a Defender and then drive this. They're like, this is it. Because this is something you can drive, you know, 2, 5, 6 days out of a week and not get bored at.
This thing is such an engineering marvel that the fact that this can do what it does and then that it's an old Defender. That's astonishing to me.
It's so funny when you talk to any mechanic, they're like, this is so much work. You have to understand this is so much work. This is like years of work to make a car drive like this. And you know, a Defender can be engine swapped, but you still have to do everything. You have to do an axle upgrade, drive shaft upgrade, because they don't take horsepowers like this, right? So your entire bottom end is pretty much brand new to accommodate a car that needs to take 600 and still looks like the old car. So that's why. So there's a lot of custom work involved to make a car to even drive like this.
Well, thank you, Mr. Wang, for the other opportunity to drive another one of your amazing cars out of the collection. I'm kind of sad to see this thing go, but
Yeah.
something better is coming.
I hope
Something
that's-
better is coming. From what I'm told,
Shh, guys, say it is going to be like, you know, that. Let's
Right.
put it that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's beep that out.
no
Yeah.
more hint, no more hint.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yep.
We can sign it off here.
Tell me, this thing has boards that come out of the car like a new Range Rover?
Yeah.
So wait, can I just press that and it'll go in?
Yeah, you press this.
Okay.
It will just go in.
Ooh.
The door's closed.
Right, when the door's
now
closed,
you release it, it comes back out. So it's a complete
Whoa, what the heck?
mechanical mechanism to do that. Yeah.
So wait, now technically, in theory, if I were to close it, it should...
Yeah, I just shut it up and it will descend. It will descend up. Just give it a close second. Yeah.
What the heck? Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, these are Con's wide body kit, by the way. This is a wide body car.
That's a wide body car? Oh my goodness. What a beast. I love this thing way more than I thought. I have a new appreciation for these things now. Because at first, when you bought this, I was like, I don't know why you did. But now I can definitely see why you did. This thing is so cool.
That's what I meant.
Oh.
The cone touching.
Oh yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, they had them.
See the alternator here? Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be coming out this way.
Right.
But they flipped the alternator.
Huh.
Yeah, and redid the belt design to fit everything, and it's so crammed. Like this can touch the ceiling of the.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it barely fits.
Yeah, you're not kidding, because it needs to have like
this
the
is
bulge.
a supercharged Coyote engine, so they usually LS swap this or Coyote swap this. So if you like a smaller, a bit more condensed engine with a supercharger, or you want a 6.0 or you know, bigger displacement naturally aspirated engine, that's usually what people swap to. But I personally love the supercharged engine quite a bit because when you accelerate, you hear the supercharged one.
Right, right.